Hello, everyone. Let me get this set up. One of the things that let me get this set up. You notice when I play is like I generally don't force things. I just let the game kind of like progress by itself. That's much easier for me because I'm much stronger than the people I'm playing against. But it's not quite as easy. It's not quite as easy. I don't think that's actually a great move. I think like C12 is better. I'm just gonna do this. You With this move, you kind of let me get the corner, and if you don't answer, I can just play C13, and that feels really bad with the 3 stones. Like I'm just gonna play C13 right now, and then you have to make like really damaging moves like that one. You realize that he still doesn't really have a base. Like, black still really doesn't have a base here. Getting anything out of this. Actually, no, I should have gone on the other side. Oh, I made a mistake there. I should have gone on the other side. 100% should have gone on the other side. I think I should have played, definitely should have, I mean, this is okay, but I definitely should have played B, see, this way black doesn't really get influence. He really doesn't get territory. That move just doesn't really make any sense. And he doesn't really even get Sente from any of this. So I might have been better going off on the other side, quite honestly, because I already have some potential over here. But still, like, black essentially gotten very little from these two trades. Black actually got very little from those two trades. Oh, yeah, this is just bad for black, essentially. You might think I need to repair S16, but I really don't. If black plays S16, it's Gote, so it's going to be Gote take for that, so that doesn't really make too much sense for him. Right now, at least. I might eventually play S18, but right now I don't need to. If he blocks this way, which I kind of expected him to do, he's actually using a lot of stones to get like a very little amount of territory in here. So it's very inefficient. I'm forcing him to play a very inefficient game right now. If there was just one stone over here and my stone didn't exist here, it would be a different story. But since my stone actually exists over here, restricting him, and he's already got 2 stones here, it's very inefficient for him to play this way. And this is like kind of narrow for him, so there's not much potential for territory up here. Now he actually has to connect that, and I can get this move. And the thing is, like, if he doesn't repair this, I can still get like go up there in the future. So the thing is, like, right now you can see it set up, and I've got some territory here, some territory here, and some territory here. He doesn't have nearly as much territory. He just nearly doesn't have nearly that much territory. So just by that, I'm already a little bit ahead in terms of like how much territory I actually have. He can get this corner, but he can actually get that corner. But like I said, it is Gote for him. If I do this, think it's best just to do this. There's not much there left. I don't have any weak groups that he can actually exploit, is the thing. Really don't have that many weaknesses that he can actually exploit. And he's just overall quite a bit down in territory already. Now he's going to try to make the middle, territory here. But there are many, many ways I can actually get out. Like right here, you have to seal, if you're wanting to make the middle territory, you have to seal that part. You don't seal that part, you're not going to get too much on the middle territory. There is something he can do, though, to cut this stone off, but I'm not really afraid of it. That's the wrong one. The play was actually Q13. So I'm just going to block this. The play was actually Q13. There's not much he can actually... Well, there is something he can do, actually. Not a whole lot, though. Like, trying to get this territory in here doesn't really make any sense. Because there's not much to be made in there, honestly. I'm just going to do this right now. I don't mind him breaking this territory. I need to come up this way first. I'm ahead enough in terms that it doesn't truly matter all that much. I will eventually do this just to secure this territory down here, though. I'm just going to do this right now. I don't think there's much he can actually get up there. And I'm going to take like advantages here first, because this is actually pretty huge for me to do this. Okay, that's not the way you would... I mean, it's still Gote for him. So he basically... Look at all these stones. He basically got about 10 points there. And if he doesn't... Yeah, like he didn't get that much there. And he lets me get this over here. Which means that any potential that he actually has as of this territory is going to be extremely limited. And I've just gotten the entire territory down here. So you can see like how I easily get ahead in these games. Just by recognizing that, like, you know, the thing started like he gave me a really large advantage with these kind of Joseki trades over here, and then trying to make the middle influence, but not actually making critical moves on the middle influence, and giving me a lot of territory down here. I mean, this isn't sealed, obviously. He can still take that particular stone, but it's not going to be that much. Also, I can just come up here and get this territory myself. It's not that big of a deal. I'm really not afraid to fight with him on this. I mean, he just gave me these. He just kind of like gave me those 2 stones. So yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Like the damage that he did here is going to be just as great as like any territory he gets in there. So, and also like he's going to put this in danger sooner or later if he doesn't be careful. You can see like there's just not much there. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. There's just not much territory here. And I can completely destroy any kind of like territory in here, basically at this point. It's kind of an empty play, but and I can do this anyways. So eventually, I actually got more territory here than he did, like, you know, in here and here, because you can see that there's just not much. There's not much point in this. Realistically, I don't even need to connect that. So I'm just gonna start doing like the endgame moves here. He does need to actually connect that if he doesn't want to give up these points. So like at this point, I'm ahead by like probably 30 points at least. So like there was no fighting whatsoever in this game. There was actually no fighting whatsoever in this game. And he lost by, 30, 40 points. Just by little intricacies. C16 kick. Yeah, the C16 kick is okay. The C16 kick is perfectly fine on that. That is actually a Joseki. These three are dead, by the way. Guys, please hit the likes and subscribes. That would help me a lot. But like, it's just like gaining these little advantages that a lot of Go games can easily be won just by gaining little advantages that your opponent kind of like leaves behind for you, especially in the lower ranks, because there's a lot of shapes that that your opponent doesn't really see. And you don't really have to do any like crazy wild moves.
You have won.
See, I'm up by like 50 points by not doing like much at all. So these are just like little intricacies that people have to understand. So yes, you're right. This kick is perfectly fine as well. Not that. Yeah, the kick is perfectly fine. It's also even. This is kind of like the standard move. E16 is kind of like the standard response to this. That is not the standard response. Like technically, you just do this, and it's a perfectly even trade. Doing this is not good. It gets me the Hane, and realistically, like doing this, like you can't do this because I can just come down this way. I have the tiger's mouth here, so that doesn't favor black, obviously. So like that's why this C17 move is generally not very good, because I already have a tiger's mouth here, and I can just Hane. You can't really Hane. If you connect, I get the extension here, and I feel like Katago might want you to do something like this, but I feel like my group's not really in danger, so I can just jump up and then threaten you later. So here, I feel like white should probably just go over here or something. But I just went with the arm extension. You do this. I'm going to threaten here, and you have to get these three out. So yes, that would actually be the right move, and that's kind of like, this is more of like the standard move of to actually get out. This is just too slow, first of all. I do this. Yeah, once again, like attaching on top is by far the best option. Then he does this. I'm going to do this because like I don't want to, you never really want to force your opponent, because if you force your opponent in attach, he forces you to answer. If you do this, it's just much better. He's going to go up here. You cling on that, and then you go over here and threaten this stone. You can always play down here for territory at any time. He still doesn't, like, your group is pretty much safe. His group does not have any eye shape. So that's why like white has plus 7.2 advantage. That I think I should have played this, because there's no way he would want to fight this. There's absolutely no way he wants to fight that. And if he does this, then that's perfectly fine. Like I get like some territory, and then I can just have Sente to do this or something. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I think I should have played in, but I played this, which is fine as well. I connect, he does this, I do this. That's not going to be good. Like I feel like here you definitely do this. You want eye shape here. You definitely want eye shape here. Because I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna let you like kill the stone. That's your ladder. So essentially I'm not gonna like do that. So I would probably have to do this or something. and then like do this. And now like black is fairly safe because you know you have this here, and if I connect this here, you can just extend on B1 and live. So I feel like if you're black, you kind of have to do that right now. Right now, letting me get this means you don't have any eye shape at all. And if you look at what you're actually getting from this, I mean, if you look at what you're getting from this, you get two weak groups here, and I get bottom territory plus the middle territory. So that's why it's such a big win for white on this. That's going to be Sente for me. I'm not going to answer that. So I'm going to come over here. It might have been better for me to actually just do this and try to build this territory over here, but I don't think it really matters all that much which side I go on. We've talked about this. This is also another mistake. You should definitely do this and go over here. And doubly so because I have this influence over here, so you can mitigate my influence with this over here. So that was kind of a mistake. I'm obviously going to do that. This is not really much of a thing. I probably would not answer that. I would just go ahead and go here. So that's why I'm not afraid of the S16 cut. So you can see, like, as of right now, after we traded these two sides, I'm already up by about 20 points. And in, like, a high-level professional game, that would be almost impossible to pull back. But in, like, lower rank games, it's not. So this is fine. I'm going to counter pincer here because I'm already strong over here. I think that's a wrong move. Well, actually, no, that's pretty much the only move you can actually do. So that's not a wrong move. I took this one. I took this move because I knew that if you actually blocked over here and did this exchange, this would massively favor me because, like, you're spending 2 stones over here and it's still not clean right here. So if you do this, I still get Sente and you get very little territory and very little room for expansion, especially if white does something like this. So he goes over there. That's fine. I'm going to answer, getting some territory. That's fine. I'm going to do that. I mean, I know you're trying to build the center, but you're not really built. That's not how you do it. I'm going to come up here and Hane, and then try to get part of this side. This is actually not too bad, but I don't think this is the right way to... I mean, like, white could honestly just do this and just take away some of the advantages down there, but I didn't do that right away. I'm going to fly up here. So this is the move I was talking about, because if I actually repair this, you can just come down here for free. And that's actually a pretty big loss for white, obviously. So if he actually did this, I would have to do this, and then he can actually cut my stone. Then he can actually cut my stone, and I would be in a little bit of trouble here, although not that much. Because, you know, I can just opt to do this. And kind of like opt to like, you know, I always have this move as well. So there's always that, you know. But this is the move I was talking about that could actually be troublesome, because I can't just do something like this, because you can just come down and kill these 2 stones. So he did choose the wrong point here. This, of course, just lets me repair everything. I don't think this move is actually all that big right now, because there's so many ways for white to just destroy this that, like, you're owing too much. I chose to just take the advantages first. Also, like, there's no need to do this. You kind of just do this. I mean, I can't play this move, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's no way I would do that. So doing this first is a little damaging, and then, you know, and the thing is, like, now you can see why the trades were good for white. Like, I got all of this side, all of this territory, and all he got was like this little territory in here, and I got Sente. So I'm going to come up here and destroy whatever influence he has left. Then I'm going to take this territory. So at this point, I'm up by like 30 points because this influence doesn't really mean all that much. There's so many breaking points I could do. I don't really know what the point of that was. That was fine. I'm going to push. And then I'm going to jump up here because I feel like I can match whatever territory he gets here with whatever territory I get here. So it's not like, to me, it's not about, like, this move is not about getting, is not about like reducing his territory. It's really about like me basically matching his territory with whatever territory I can gain. This is a mistake. Obviously, I'm going to do this. Of course, like at this point, there's just no territory here at all. That move is unnecessary. That move is really unnecessary. I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to kill this over here anyways, so I feel like it's telling me to do something like this to try to kill this group. That might work, but I don't think so, because you can always do something like that to, get eyes and stuff. So I don't think you can kill this group. And I don't think there's anything here that you can actually do. Might be wrong. Actually, you know what? I actually might be wrong about this, but I feel like there's nothing you can do here. If you do... Yeah, I don't feel like there's anything he can do here. I mean, it's still dead, so I don't really see... I don't think there's anything there. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to do this. So, like, when you do this kind of move, I know you're trying to peep at this, but you have to think, like, is there a move that white has that can fix this and invades this territory more? And the answer is obviously yes. I get the tiger's mouth there. So... I mean, this basically just puts him in a worse and worse position at this point. There is some big move I'm missing somewhere here along the line. I don't exactly know what it is. But the thing is, like, this game, at this point, he's down by 50 points. We didn't do anything special. We didn't really fight in any specific way. But just, like, little advantages starting from the beginning really, really add up. Not knowing how to play these Josekis right and not knowing how to work these moves in combination right. Because the thing is, like, once you've actually started building this Moyo, you can't just sacrifice everything. You can't, like, just sacrifice everything you've gained. So he didn't actually gain... that much over this. Yeah, a lot of times Katago does actually prefer 3-3 invasions, but the thing is, like, you shouldn't always try to copy Katago, because, like, you're not going to, like, you as a player can't use your influence as well as Katago can, and you'll never be able to do that because we're not, like, we're not computers. So we're not going to be able to ever play Go at that level. The thing is, like, 3-3 invasions are fine. I just don't like giving up that much influence at the beginning, but it's really your personal taste. So we're gonna play one more. We're gonna play one more game today. So I will wait about 10 minutes to see if anyone wants to play. If no one wants to play, I will probably just go do something else. But if someone wants to play, they can always accept my challenge. I wait until like 3:55 for this challenge to actually proc. Please hit the likes. It would help me a lot with this channel. Katago is actually quite good for learning Josekis. I wish, like, Katago just had, like, an option to turn off all the rest of the board and just focus on that Joseki. Because a lot of times Katago won't actually finish that Joseki and tell you to move somewhere else. And that really is great if you can plan like 40 moves ahead, but most people can't.
Game started.
All right, one more game today. We are starting this game. Yeah, it's showing up. I mean, it's on the live. I'm pretty sure it's on the live stream. Pretty sure it's on the live stream now. I usually don't do the high pincer. I don't like it that much, but this time I'll do it. I would probably just take the 3-3 if I was black. I used to really like, getting this side without in either of the corners. But after analyzing a couple of times, actually, like I feel like that, like black getting both corners and you just getting this side actually favors black. So that's why I don't do the high pincer all that often anymore. I don't think that move is completely necessary right now. Yes, there is the c5 move, but right now I don't think it's quite that big. So I'm going to ignore that for the time being. This is actually the one Joseki that so many people actually need to learn. He's actually playing it right because I've gained a huge advantage multiple times over this particular Joseki because they don't really understand like how this Joseki works. It, that's the wrong way. You have to connect this. You like 100% have to connect this. Because now it's actually Gote for black because he still has to connect one of these down here. So this is a big loss for black. This is actually a really big, and I can actually choose to cut either way because this is I don't know if this diagonal actually works for me, but I can take these two stones at any time if he doesn't repair this. So this is actually a big loss for black right there. Three might have actually been better here, actually. 3-3 definitely might have actually been better here. 3-3 invasion. A lot of players would actually play R9, but I'm going to play R8. R8 is better than R9 by substantially better than R9. You don't have to play Q8 when he plays this. You can also play this. And just kind of play it this way. It's generally not good. It's generally not a good way to play this. Playing the ko is you can always also like you don't have to fight this ko. You can honestly always play this. You honestly can always play this. So this is actually just not good for him. Also, I have like a massive ko over here. I have a pretty big ko over here, so it's definitely not a great thing for him right now. Oh, that's weird. That's if you can't see the game is eligible to play at OGS, that's an OGS error. There's really not much I can do about that one, unfortunately. That's definitely going to be okay. So I'm definitely going to take this. That's not much of a co-threat. Like you need to play something like you definitely need to play something like C5 or something. You most definitely need to play like C5 or something in order for me not to take this because this is such a huge loss. Remember, there's no territory down here because I still have the R16 cut. There's no territory down here at all because I still have the R16 cut. I'm going to forego the R16 cut just to build Moyo over here. That's not a good move. I mean, there's really not much you can do over there. I mean, he has a lot of he actually has a lot of problems over here. He can try to, yeah, I figured he was going to do that, but um, first of all, I can always just play M16 and capture those two stones. But to me, that's not the most important thing right now. Just keep playing up this side. Remember, like these two stones are actually dead, so I'm not really concerned about these four stones at all. Because M16 is just a play where you can just kill those two. There's not a one-step fix to this. And this is wildly damaging for him. I'm going to do this side. And then I'm definitely going to do this now because I want to get rid of the C6, C5 move because that would be threatening to this group. This is also not the best time to attack that particular stone. I'm actually going to go down here. He does have the cut, but I don't think right now it's that effective. Yeah, I figured he'd play that. I mean, if you're going to play that, you should extend it. You shouldn't actually just let me take the stone. Because that defeats the whole purpose of playing that. Also, this is really bad. Yeah, whatever. This is a lot of points down here, but I think this one has to be connected. But I am giving up a lot of points, though, by doing that. I think this has to be connected. I gave up a lot of points by doing that, but he did get a lot of points down here. That's generally not a good move. Also, it doesn't fix M17. He's missing something because that's not actually the crucial move over here. The crucial move is actually like this group of stones over here that he's actually missing. Like, I'm going to get all of this territory if he doesn't be careful. And the territory that he's getting to compensate over here is nowhere near as big. So this is actually like a really big, this is actually a really, really big issue for him. Like, I'm going to let him get the 10 points here, but I just got like 30, 40 points here. There's not that much in there. Like, I just got all this territory here. And yet, I probably gave most of it away by giving up all this down here. Actually, no, I shouldn't have done this. That was bad. I don't think you need to do that right now. I'm going to Atari this for the time being. This is actually really big. That's actually huge right now. I don't need that stone. That stone's not worth very much. It's just 1 co. I can't really do anything with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And then killing this is pretty big as well. That solves any and all problems that I would have had there. That I'm not going to answer because there's no point in answering that. He can't save those 2 stones. Now that's worth answering, but now I have this one in the mouth as well. Block. Where can I find stored old games? You can always find, they're actually on my YouTube channel. They're all on this YouTube channel. If you actually want to store old games, you can probably find them. You can also find them on the OGS server. But I actually do review all the games on my YouTube channel. Really? Why? I guess you can try to do that down there. Oh, wait. Yeah, he can't. Never mind. That was pretty bad by me. But you know the thing is, like, he can get this points down here. But if he does that, I'm just going to get the points up here. So it's going to be a trade if he does that. Like these points, I'm gonna go ahead and do this then. Like it's gonna be yeah. If he wanted the trade, it was going to be these points down here for those points down there. I think he would have gotten a small advantage over that though. Obviously that. I think he would have gotten an advantage on that because these three are worth more than these three in my opinion. Hard to say though. It is kind of hard to say. What do you mean heirs submitting move? Okay, that was weird. I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any gashes here. +20 years old games. I don't know. There's certain servers that have that. There's certain servers that have those games. I don't really know where like old games like that would be though. I'm sure there's some kind of like Go archive somewhere. I don't know why I did that. I have to fix this because otherwise he has B7 or B6. Oh, I'm just gonna fix this. I think I probably could have played M12 as well. This stone is worth a couple of points. So if I get this code, then I don't have to fill in on some liberties here. So That's why that stone's worth a couple points. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this ko. Not worth those, though. Go ahead and fight this ko. There's no reason not to. There's plenty of kos here for me to generate. Not exactly out of ko material. Can't do that. He actually has to. I should have actually done this first, but he has to do this now to make sure this group is actually alive. Just fix all your problems right now, and basically game over. I can play C1 and then fight this ko, but I don't really want to. I would if the game was actually really close, I would fight that ko, but it's not really that close, so I'm not going to. There's no points in here. There's actually no points in there when I made this move. Doesn't matter. He has to connect everything. I don't think there's anything in there. This is too buttoned up. He can try this. I'm going to connect. He goes up. I'm going to connect. There's nothing in there. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. There's a critical error I made. There's definitely a critical error I made. I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, so there's a critical error. I obviously like left this out here. I forgot what tightening all liberties. I have to protect this because he could have played. He could have actually played this. If I connect, he can capture these 4 stones. Definitely a big critical error on my part. I got careless there. If he actually played this, I would have actually went down this way. So, and saved this, but that was a big critical error on my part. I mean, after I took this, like I would have won regardless if he did this or not. But that was a huge critical error on my part. I actually didn't have to answer that. There's nothing there.
Pass. Remove the dead stones. You have won.
Okay, so let's go back and review this game. That was just a really bad mistake on my part. But aside from that, this is fine. Like I said, here I probably would have just taken the corner and just played out this Joseki. I think here, white would have probably played this way. I used to like this Joseki or not as white, but I'm pretty sure this favors black. 2 corners is better than what you get here. So I would have actually just played out that Joseki. Going here, that I'm not going to answer. Now, that not answering, he does have this move. But right now, I don't think it's just not very critical right now. So I'm going to do this, do this. So the correct play is to do this. We've discussed this multiple times. That's the correct Joseki. I think people try to find variations of this Joseki, and there just aren't any better variations. This is going to be a huge mistake because you haven't really repaired the error down here. I think I would have actually done this. Probably should have done this and just lived here. Now, if you were stronger on the outside, you can get away by doing this, but at this point, it's not good. At this point, it's just not very good because of this. So you can't actually do that right now. So white does actually live down here in the corner. If white does actually live in the corner if he actually invades, but that's perfectly fine because you get a lot of outside influence over here, and you can just attack this stone and try to make this territory while you're attacking my stones over here. So it's perfectly fine. Approach here, that's fine. So a lot of players would actually do this. This is not a good move. This trade is bad for white. So that's why I only took the 1 space leap over the 2 space leap. I'm going to jump up. Obviously, I'm going to do this. And I think people just forget. I think like a lot of lower ranked players just assume that when you do this, white's automatically going to do this. And then you get this through. That's not true. White can just kind of block you and then just, fix his thing down here. If you do this, I can always take the stone. So that's my prerogative. And even if I have to do this, it's not that bad for white if you really look at it, because black actually has to do something like this first. So it's really not all that bad for white. So obviously he does this. I'm going to take this stone. That's not a co-threat. So I'm obviously going to take this. If you're going to play this co-threat, you have to threaten with something more like this. At this point, I might just take this anyways, and then I might even let you have these 2 stones. I mean, yes, these 2 stones are big, but so is getting that. So essentially, like, you let me take this. This is a huge advantage because now you have a bunch of cuts over here that you need to repair. You can't repair this over here, and your thickness is all gone. So basically, this is a huge, huge win for white. Double Hane, because you have this down here, this is not really a thing. I'm just going to keep pushing. This is generally a bad move because obviously, like I said, you always have M17. And you don't have much eye space, so I'm just going to pincer over here. You're going to come up. I'm going to come up and make territory over here. And then I'm just going to Hane at you. And if you don't respond, obviously, like, you know, if you do this, that obviously is bad for white, bad for black. So you also can't do this. I could have just done this immediately, but I wasn't really that much in a hurry. So I'm going to extend here, and then I'm going to do this. This is bad because I've already taken the stone and I can just come down here at any time. I'm going to block this. I don't care if you cut because I can, obviously I can just do this and just kill these 2 stones. So you can't really threaten me. So you don't really have any like threat over here on me. Here, obviously I'm going to go on this side because if I go on this side and then you do this, and these 3 stones are very weak. So I'm going to solidify these 3 stones. And then obviously I'm going to do that. So that takes away C5, which is huge for me. This is fine. I feel like I probably should have just done this. I didn't have to Hane because that caused me a lot of problems later. So that's fine. But the thing is, like, if you're going to do this, you're going to want to expand upwards. Like, doing this and then blocking it, letting me take the stone makes no sense. That's fine. Yeah, like letting me cut this off is no good. When I don't like this move actually, because this gives you conundrums, and letting me cut the stone is no good. I feel like they want me to do this, but I really don't want to fight this ko. I really, really don't want to fight this ko. So I probably made a mistake here because, like I said, like when I did this, I'm like, oh man, that's really bad because this is actually a lot of points down here. But if you're actually going to do this, you have to jump out as black here. Like, you can't let me just like kill these 3 stones and get all the territory. This is these stones are actually really hard for white to kill. Like, white shouldn't be able to get any of this territory because these stones are actually very, very hard for white to kill. I mean, you're going to do this. I'm going to connect. Usually, this is always a bad trade. It takes away, like, options. Look, this is always going to be a bad trade because it takes away later options like this where you might be able to actually just come through, right? So, like, or you could do this and get, like, a big advantage on the bottom points. So, this is always a bad move. So, like, obviously, this isn't, like, you're expanding over here. I'm going to just try to get the middle territory over here. And then, you know, you basically allowing me to get the middle territory over here. It seals the game more or less. I feel like it, I mean, like, I don't think this actually works now because black's too, like, gathered over here. There's really no way white can live. So when I actually do this, black should just do this, in my opinion. This doesn't really work all that well because of that. So I actually overstretched on this one. I should have just done this. But I kind of misread this and I just did this. Target this first and then do that. And that gets me a lot of points. And of course I'm going to kill these 2 stones because that's actually pretty big. The rest of these are pretty much just ending point moves. This is a pretty big, this is kind of a weird thing here. Whereas like, this is weird because I feel like when you do this, so here, I think white should have actually just done this and then extend down. And this would have been a trade. I would have extended down. I would have actually actually no, this wouldn't have been a trade because I actually do have more liberties than he does. Yeah, I actually win this, so there was no trade there. Yeah, that was okay. That was that. That's fine. But the rest of this, the end game, is he's also just responding to my moves. He's not grabbing the initiative back. So with every one of my moves, I'm basically just expanding my lead a little bit. Here, you definitely do this. There's nothing I can do there. So that's the review of this game. Once again, like, you know, this all starts with this messed up Joseki over here. Like, I see this Joseki, like, played wrong so many times. Like, he actually had this right until he made that move. It definitely should be here. Sorry, it should be here. That's the Joseki. Like, so many games just get ruined by this Joseki here. And of course, like, this trade is really bad for black. Like, this is like really where the game just like tore apart here. So, you know, like messed up Joseki, like a screwed up Joseki, and kind of like didn't see this pop back is going to be where the game is kind of decided. The rest of it is just me extending my lead. Obviously, like, you know, if you don't know the C5 move, learn the C5 move. That's actually really important. And just some like basic shape recognition. Like, a lot of these games are like small advantages that add up for me, and that's how I win like so many games, and not like one huge advantage elsewhere. So that's going to be the lesson for today. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button, and I will